Hello and welcome back, everyone. It is your girl Cassandra Olivia, and I am back with yet another hair tutorial on my friend slash client Daisha. She's been coming to me for the last 2 years, I believe. It's actually been longer than that, ever since I've been doing short hair. And she was honestly kind enough to let me practice doing short hair on her. She was literally like the third person I've ever done doing short hair by myself. So shout out to you for just believing in me and just really being a faithful client. I really do appreciate you. So today, Daisha actually came in today, which is Thursday. So I'm getting this video out to you guys today, okay? She came this morning at 9:30 this morning. We decided to do a ponytail. So Daisha decided to grow her hair out. She's been growing her hair out approximately since March of this year. So when she came in today, and back in March, just a little bit of background real quick. We shampooed her hair, deep conditioned, pressed it out, and gave her a nice trim. And then today we're actually just going in and just pressing her hair out. Since March, she has not put any heat in her hair. She's been wearing protective styles, and we're just gonna go ahead and start to do her ponytail for this wedding she's gonna be in. So her hair has grown so much, and once I'm done blow drying it and pressing it out completely, I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison just so you can see how much it has grown since March of this year. And the growth is just amazing. Like, a lot of my clients, you know, like, we about healthy hair, period, okay? So in the beginning part of this video, I was giving Daisha a nice shampoo service. It's called on my website an intense hydrating soap press. That includes a fully steamed shampoo and deep conditioning treatment. It also comes with 3 different types of shampoo, a deep condition, and a scalp massage, okay? So this is a 20 to 25 minute service. I just added the beginning part and like a little bit just so you can see what I was working with. But I've done a lot of these on camera, and I just didn't want this video to be even longer than it is. So I'm just going in now. Prior to me blow drying, I did put in some Olaplex number 6. You guys know, or don't know, I just became an Olaplex affiliate, so I do get a small commission for people that purchase Olaplex products. But I do stand behind these products. If you guys go like 2 or 3 years back down on my channel, you will see that I faithfully use Olaplex products, so it's no cap, okay? So I'm just going in. I already put our Olaplex number 6 in, which is going to be the heat protectant for today, and I'm just blow drying her out as straight as possibly possible. And then I'm going to go in and round brush her. So once I'm done that, I'll be back in just a second. But when you're doing a silk press or a slick ponytail, especially on somebody with short hair or natural hair, you just want to make sure that you are getting it as straight as possible. She does have some really, really tiny, like little fine baby hairs in the front and around her perimeter of her hairline, like her neck. So I just want to be, my husband is riding his Camaro right now. He's being so loud, like, I'm so sorry. But those hairs are really fine, so I don't want to do too much to them, but I'm just going to show you how I finesse, okay? So this is the before, and then we're going to come back as soon as she's done being pressed out in just a second. So I just removed both of her wet service towels. So I use 2 towels on each client. I use one for their neck and then one that goes underneath of the cape. You can use a towel and a Sanex strip, 2 towels, whatever you prefer. Just make sure that it's state regulated or it's, you know, sanitary, okay? So I like to throw those in my closet where my laundry bin is, and now I'm just going in and going to make sure that her scalp is dry because her hair is very thick. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence and making sure that everything is completely dry before we try to go in with any hot tools, understand me? So now that she's completely dry, I already did the very back section. I didn't realize that my phone was cutting on and off because people were trying to call me. So I did. I'm going to go ahead and press her out completely with my custom flat irons. And right now they are on sale for $80 only until Sunday. And if you use the discount code YTCast10, you will get an additional 10% off on top of the $80. So please take advantage because I'm literally on my last, I think, 12, 14. I have to check. But I literally have a handful left. And after that, I won't be restocking until Christmas. So if you miss out, too bad. Okay, because I've been telling you. So I'm just going to go in with my custom iron, press her out completely, and then when I'm done, I am going to go in with my Kendra's Boutique. What is this? Oh, my hot comb, and I'm just going to go in and make sure that her roots are nice and straight, okay? So I'm alternating between the flat iron and the hot comb. The hot comb is mostly to get the roots as straight as possible and just to make sure that I'm stretching out any crinkles and just getting rid of anything that is not slick. It's just going to help me make this hairstyle even more slick. So I'm taking a little bit wider section, but that's because her hair is shorter and I know what I'm doing. But of course, if you don't feel comfortable taking this much hair, just feel free to take a little bit less and take smaller sections. I just do this because I've been doing this for a while, you guys know. And honestly, this is I don't think I've done a ponytail since my last viral ponytail video, because that wasn't even supposed to be nothing major. That was just me having fun with a new client, and it took off. So hopefully this video does the same thing. Hopefully you guys like this. I cannot talk today, and I'm so sorry, but I'm so determined to get this video out. So if you hear me struggling, just ignore it, okay, and bear with me, okay? So I'm just gonna finish pressing her out, and then I'll be back in just a second, for real this time. So now my client is all pressed out. I am just going to go ahead and ask her where she wants her part. I asked her to pull up her picture of the ponytail that she sent me, just verifying everything. I like to have them look in the mirror, which is directly in front of her, so they can see how the part looks, they can approve of it. And real quick, this is how short her hair was back in March, guys. Like, look how much her hair has freaking grown. And she's cut it, I think, one other time since then. We actually trimmed it back then. So her hair is doing a wonderful job for it to only be this short amount of time. And Daisha's hair has literally been short for the last 2 years. So the fact that she's growing her hair out for this wedding, I was like, you are such a real one for that, because me as a friend, I would do the same thing. I know some people are like, oh my God, like, I'm not changing my hair for a wedding. But if it's my best friend's wedding, like, I'm going to change my hair. If you want me to shave it and color it blonde, then that's what it's going to be, okay? Because you're my best friend, and I want your special day to be special. So she decided to grow her hair out for this wedding that she's going to be in. And I just thought that was super amazing. So I actually convinced her to keep growing it out. So hopefully in the next video, when she comes back, I can do an update. So everything's been pressed out. I did put a little bit of pomade in her hair from Influence. You can use any pomade that you prefer. Now that the pomade is all in her hair, I'm just going back in with that Kendra's Boutique hot comb and just kind of pressing everything out. And now I'm just gonna go in and start to mold and shape her ponytail, okay? So for this, I suck at explaining stuff. I'm trying to be better because I'm on here and you guys obviously are rocking with me, but I'm just literally splitting where I want her hair parted, and then the 2 sections at the top that you see parted is literally where the tracks are gonna go. One thing that I will say is this process, to me personally, is super tedious, because you have to constantly make sure that the hair is slicked down. You have to make sure that you have enough product on there. That way it's not going to revert back when it gets wet or when she sweats. You also have to ensure that it has a nice amount of shine. You have to ensure that her hair textures match. Everything's blended. It's nice and slick. No lumps and bumps. And you also have to make sure that if the hair is shorter, that it blends and it reaches into the ponytail and it's not going to come out. So her hair is literally just long enough. But when I'm doing this, I'm literally overthinking it way more than I need to. But I just know over years of doing these type of styles that you just want to make sure everything is slick. You want to spritz it and apply more product than less, okay? So for this, I will spritz the heck out of somebody's hair with the Got2b hairspray, whatever I'm deciding to use, because you want to make sure that it holds. And then I'm going to stick her in the dryer too. But for these type of slick hairstyles, you want to make sure that you're generous with the hair product, okay? And don't be scared to try out new things and just test them out. You know, if this ponytail, you know, I know what I'm doing, but if, for instance, I didn't know how to do this type of ponytail, don't hesitate to call somebody and be like, hey, can I practice doing ponytails on you until you get it? And what I recommend, if you want to be the best hairstylist possible, is to try it on people with different textures. So the first ponytail video that I did with the client Daisy, she had a very easy hair texture. It was already straight, already long. So bam, ponytail was pretty much easy to do. Daisha's hair is a little bit differently because it is natural, it's shorter. She has a little bit more fine hair in the front. So we just have to take all that into consideration, that these are 2 different clients, even though it's a similar hairstyle, okay? So now she's all slicked down to my liking and she's dry enough. I'm just going in with some Kaneka line braiding hair and just extending her ponytail that she has in the back. I'm going to do it about, let me see, 6 inches, I guess, if that's a nice measurement, 6 or 7 inches, I guess, because she does want a longer style ponytail. And you'll just see what I'm doing here. I'm literally doing the same technique that I did for Daisy's hair previously. I'm just going to use the rubber band, cap this off, wrap the ponytail with some Sanex strips to protect the hair. This is an added step. I definitely recommend doing this because you do not want to put glue directly onto your client's hair, guys, okay? We're always thinking about healthy hair. So just make sure you take the time to do the extra step to ensure that the hair is as healthy as possible. So I'm going to let this part play through just for a little bit because I feel like I'm talking way too much at this point and it's already pretty much been explained and beaten to death. But you guys already know, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram and feel free to reach out or comment down below. I will answer as many questions as possible, okay? Okay, so as I'm watching this, I just had to pop back in. I did spray some Got2b spray onto the Sanex strips that are on the braid. The reason being, I want that to be secured and kind of molded into place. But you want to make sure that you blow dry it completely, which I'm doing here. And you don't want it to be too wet. You just want it to be saturated enough to where the product will get through, but not drenched, if that makes sense. Because you don't want it to be wet when you apply the glue. If it's wet when you apply the glue, it's going to be a super sticky situation. It's going to take forever to dry. So just make sure that the Sanex are dry. So that part that I parted at the very beginning for the tracks, this is why. So her ponytail is pretty much done in the back, but now I have to just go in the front and do her swoop. So I like to section this part out. The reason being is because sometimes when you try to swoop it all into one big motion, into one big giant ponytail with one hair tie, it is so hard to make sure that the swoop is right, the sides are right, the back is laying. So typically I like to section this. I like to either do 2, maybe 3 sections depending on how short the client's hair is. So I like to get the general shape of the ponytail in first. If the bang's gonna be on the left, I like to leave out hair on the right to cover it, and vice versa. So I left out some hair slightly to the left on this side because the part is on the left, and I'm gluing the tracks on the right. So that way when I comb over, and you'll see in just a second when I move her over, the tracks are gonna be covered by the hair and then it'll swoop in. Because her hair is a little bit shorter at the top, as you can see, I'm gonna show you guys an additional step that I took for her hair, and I literally just freestyled the day of to mold it and make sure that it's staying, because she's gonna be sweating, she's gonna be dancing. Her hair needs to last up until Sunday. It's only Thursday she got it done. She's going on a flight, she's gonna be turning up. I want to make sure that her hair is literally not going to budge, okay? So here I am. I switched out the first piece of hair that I used because it was only about 10 inches and I didn't want it to be too short. So now I'm just going in with the same hair that we're going to use for the ponytail, and I'm just going to press that out and then add like a big bend in it right now. And this will also make it easier for when I want to wrap the hair around and do a swoop in the front. So now I'm using my Hold Me Down adhesive by Erica J. Shout out to you, girl, on YouTube. I've actually had this adhesive. I've had this adhesive, slow down, Cass, since before the pandemic. So I've had it for a while now, and I decided let me just use this instead of regular hair glue because I have not really been touching this. I got it because I just wanted to get it, but I don't know. I like my bold hold, but I like the fact that bold hold, literally anytime I want it, I can get it. The only thing that I kind of don't like about the Erica J is her products are amazing, but the times that it takes for it to be restocked sometimes be drawing. It's like if I need product today for my clients next week, I need to buy something today, you feel me? So I do like her product. I just wish that it was more in stock, so that way when I was ready to order it in advance prior to my clients coming, I can just go online and order it instead of waiting for like a drop, if that makes sense. But we're still going to be here and support her black-owned business, and whenever she does drop, I will grab more. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to stick with my bowl hold, just keeping it all the way 100 with you guys, okay? So I'm just going up the shaft using, again, this Hair by Erica J glue. This glue is the freaking truth. This is actually lace glue that you use for frontals, so this hair is not going to go anywhere. Like my hair, it don't move, okay? So I'm going to finish doing this part, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so now we're going back to revisit the top part. This is pretty much how I slicked it down. Again, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that my phone had died. Or not died, but somebody called me and it caused my video to stop, and I just was in the zone. So I just molded her, and I basically put these big duckbill pins in her hair to make sure that everything is nice. The reason why I use these is because they're longer. They don't leave an indent that bad, but if they do, it's easier to work with. And also, they're just easier when it comes to trying to mold and shape things. So if you just heard Miss Ava in the background, her and Olivia are arguing over my second phone so they can play Roblox and educational games. But right now, we're going to ignore her for a minute. She can hang out with her dad until I get finished like I asked. I'm like, what's going on? Everybody's calling me. My husband's revving the car up. Like, what's going on, okay? So I basically took the pins out the front, and then I just went back in with some more Got To Be spray and just resprayed the very perimeter of her hair. So that very first part, the front, the sides, the back, making sure that everything is nice and in unison. And then the very last part, I'm just going to use this and wrap it around to conceal everything. So now I'm going in with my Cynthia Lumsey Main Candy hair product. This is her leave-in, and I will link it down below with my discount code because she also made me an affiliate. So shout out to you, Auntie, because I look up to you. You are a beast at hair color. All these blessings coming through, amen. So this is pretty much how it looks. I'm gonna go in the front and just slick down her edges with some edge control just to clean up that very front part that I was talking about. That's really kind of fine. It's too short to catch with the flat iron or the hot comb or the pressing comb, but it's long enough for where I can put some edge control in it just to clean it up a little bit. So again, we're worried about healthy hair. We're not worried about frying her edges out with a hot comb, okay? So that's that, and I'll show you how it looks in just a second.
Camry, yeah, it's definitely given. It's given what it was supposed to give.
Girl, I'm cause you know I can come in here looking like anything.
Girl,
you know how I be looking. That's why I saw you at the door. I said, we kind of tuned it because I definitely throw these leggings real quick.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, we gotta do it again. We gotta do it again. We gotta do it again.